The following clip is from a Quran chapter analysis video I made that is a part of my broader, in-depth Studying the Study Quran playlist. Whether you are a Christian, Jew, Muslim, atheist, etc., I believe you will learn a lot about Islam and religion in general from watching this series. So please feel free to check out the full playlist by clicking on the end screen or the link in the description for it. Or if you're just interested in seeing the video that this clip was taken from, I'll provide a link and an end screen for it as well. But without further ado, here is the clip you actually wanted to watch when you clicked on my face. Enjoy. The next thing I would like to read and discuss is verse 26. Truly God is not ashamed to set forth a parable of a gnat or something smaller. As for those who believe, they know it is the truth from their Lord. And as for those who disbelieve, they say, what did God mean by this parable? He misleads many by it, and he guides many by it. And he misleads none but the iniquitous. The part of this that I really want to zero in on is the very last line. He misleads many by it, and he guides many by it. And he misleads none but the iniquitous. Now, I didn't really understand what iniquitous meant. I looked it up on dictionary.com, and basically it just means someone who is of poor character. They are kind of so rotten from the inside that, it's who they are. It defines them. That is kind of what I understand iniquitous to mean. And I found this verse to be just fascinating in relation to actually some things in the Bible. Let me first read one of the footnotes here for this verse, and particularly this issue of those who are iniquitous, and then we will discuss further what I mean by this being really interesting to read in light of some of the things I've read in the Bible. The verse implies that the very same message can both guide and mislead, which is something rather different from simply being ignored. Being iniquitous makes the truth for the denier into something other than the truth, which is to say that one's moral quality decides, at least in part, one's level of understanding. Those who are misled and labeled the iniquitous here are generally considered to be the hypocrites. What I found to be particularly profound about that passage and what it means is one of my big issues in the Bible was the verses where it would say, and God hardened Pharaoh's heart. And I'm like, well, this seems like a violation of free will, that God is making Pharaoh closed off to the truth. I was like, this seems like Pharaoh doesn't have a choice here. That always bothered me whenever the Bible would say things like God hardens Pharaoh's heart or someone else's heart. But this here in the Quran makes me look at those verses differently. Because what it's implying is something that I think is often true. Some people who are of poor character, who have a high amount of pride, whenever they engage with the truth, whenever they are confronted by God, instead of surrendering, instead of going, oh my gosh, I was wrong, what happens is their poor quality, moral traits prevent them from accepting the truth and understanding the truth. And so whenever I look at the Bible, it's like Pharaoh was an iniquitous man. He was a corrupt man. And since he was so corrupt, when he was confronted with Moses's prophecies of destruction, of plagues and all these sorts of things. And whenever it says that God hardened Pharaoh's heart, and so far Pharaoh did not let the Jews go, I almost think that it's basically saying Pharaoh's poor character, his own iniquitousness, was leading him astray. He received the truth, but the truth was too much for his pride and ego that he rejected it. And so it's not that God hardened Pharaoh's heart, it's that Pharaoh's iniquitous heart hardened in the face of God.